The Magnificent Seven is directed by Anton Fuqua and stars Denzel Washington, Chris Pratt, Ethan Hawke, Vincent D'Onofrio, Haley Bennett and Peter Sarsgaard amongst a few others. It tells the story of 7 gunmen in the Old West who come together to help a village get rid of the savage douchebag who's ruling their town and making life a misery for them, and from then on, Western badassery ensues. Now I have not seen any other original Magnificent Seven film. I can only judge this film as its own thing and not a remake like everybody else. And I must say, I really liked The Magnificent Seven. I'll start off by being objective. This film isn't anything amazingly special or unique. It's a very simple premise. 7 guys come together to rid a village of the evil douchebag who runs the place. That's the film. There's no deeper meaning or message behind it. It's a popcorn movie for the most part, but it's a really fun and enjoyable one. I say it's a popcorn movie for the most part because it's not always a high octane action packed ride. In fact, there's a lot of downtime in this film, but those gaps are filled in by the characters. One of my favourite parts of this film was the interplay between the Magnificent Seven, if I can call them that. The film is actually quite funny in parts thanks to these characters and their dialogue with one another. The acting is on point, they all look like they were having a blast making the movie. They give the movie a lot of its likability and charisma. Denzel Washington was a badass, Chris Pratt was also a badass but a hilarious one. He was probably the funniest one of the bunch like he is in pretty much most films he is in nowadays. Ethan Hawke was impressive as always. He has an arc which is kind of predictable in terms of where it ends up going, but you welcome it because it's Ethan Hawke and you want to see him shoot stuff. I also liked Vincent D'Onofrio. The more I see of him, the more I really like him as an actor, and this film proved to me that he has range. Between Kingpin in Daredevil, Jurassic World and Magnificent Seven, he can almost play anything at this point. Yeah, he was kinda crazy in this film. Haley Bennett was also really strong here. She sells her emotions very well. She reminds me of Jennifer Lawrence. Am I the only one who sees that? Peter Sarsgaard was serviceable as the bad guy. The character isn't really that interesting. He's just a rich slimeball who rules over this town, but he works for this movie. You see him yelling out orders and getting all of his men to do his dirty work, and you just want to see a bullet go through his face. And that's another thing that got me into the film. The simple premise. I'm a sucker for people standing up to do what's right, to get rid of the evil guys running the place, seeking righteousness. Simple stuff, but I like seeing crapheads get what they deserve. Which leads me to the climax of this film. It's all sorts of badass. Shootouts over here, dynamite blowing up over there, bow and arrows going through chests, bullets flying through heads. I was loving every second of it. The action was well filmed also. The film as a whole was actually well directed. Some of the landscapes and scenery, particularly in the first half, were really stunning, so big props to Anton Fuqua and the location scouter. And I really don't have much else to say about it. Ultimately, Magnificent Seven is a really simple movie that's rather simple to review. Like I said, it ain't anything extraordinary or revolutionary. It's not going to redefine or reinvigorate the Western genre. A lot of people will see this as just an entertaining diversion, and they would be right, it is. But I just had a lot of fun with it, what can I say? I like seeing the Magnificent Seven come together in the first act, then the second act has this really awesome standoff confrontation in the middle of the street, and I could easily see that being in a Clint Eastwood movie back in the day. And I loved the third act, seeing everyone prepare for battle, and then the actual battle, which was really entertaining to watch. The dialogue and the interplay between the characters was funny, and it made up for a lot of the film's downtime. Sometimes you feel it slowing down a touch, but it doesn't take too long to pick back up. I like the Western setting, and Magnificent Seven satisfied me as a Western and as an entertaining action movie with likeable characters. And because of that, I'm going to give the Magnificent Seven... That's my rather simple take on the Magnificent Seven, but I want to know, what did you guys think of the film and how does it compare to the original Magnificent Seven films? Whatever your thoughts are, tell me in the comments below, and if you want to see more of my stuff, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video.